Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and as you can once again see, my camera angle is just a little bit different today, a little bit off from where I normally put it. That is because, once again, I've got my computer over here with the synopsis for 10 horror novels, or books. The reason being is because it is Wednesday, or this video is going to post on Wednesday. So it being Wednesday, let's pretend, it's been about a week since I posted a video called 10 horror novels from 5 different subgenres that I want to buy and read. And it's been a really popular post. I've gotten over 100 views for it and counting. I believe they're still going up. I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying, hey, this is awesome. You've given me ideas for books I might want to read. So thank you for that. And I thought to myself, all right, why not do a part 2 to this? All right. So today, Wednesday, I'm going to be doing 10 more horror books from 5 different subgenres that I want to buy and read, of course. The reason I say books this time instead of novels is because at least one of the books here is a story collection. All right. And then I've also got a graphic novel. I'm not saying graphic novels are not books. They are books. You read them like a book. It's just they happen to have pictures, all right? They tell the same story, all right? But a short story collection is not a novel. It's a collection, all right? That's why I'm just saying it's a book. That's why I'm saying books. Anyway, that being said, the categories this time are going to be creature, zombies, witches, cosmic horror, and finally, slasher. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway. We're going to be doing, first of all, we're going to be doing creature. And what that means is just, if it's not a werewolf or a vampire, but it's something else, then some other type of monster, that is where I categorize it as creature. All right, so there you go. So the first one up is going to be The Shuddering by Anya Allborn. Ryan Adler and his twin sister Jane spent their happiest childhood days at their parents' mountain Colorado cabin until divorce tore their family apart. Now, with the house about to be sold, the Adler twins gather with their closest friends for one last snowboarding-filled holiday. While commitment-phobic Ryan gazes longingly at Lauren, wondering if his Playboy days are over, Jane's hopes of reconciling with her old boyfriend evaporate when he brings along his new fiancée. As drama builds among the friends, something lurks in the forest, watching the cabin, growing ever bolder as the snow falls and hunger rises. After a blizzard leaves the group stranded, the true test of their love and loyalty begins as the hideous creatures outside close in, one bloody attack at a time. Now Ryan, Jane, and their friends must fight, tooth and nail, bullet and blade, for their lives, or else surrender to unspeakable deaths in the darkened woods. And that is The Shuddering by Anya Allborn. All right. Next up in the creature category, we have got What Hides Within by Jason Parent. Clive Menard is just an ordinary guy living an ordinary life, but when a talking spider crawls inside his head, things get a lot less ordinary, and people start dying. Could an itsy-bitsy arachnid be behind the killing spree terrorizing Clive's community? To evade a sharp detective and find a murderer among friends, Clive must shake the cobwebs loose and piece together the puzzle of his life, all without falling prey to a dark force beyond his comprehension. That one sounds really cool. Spiders in your brain? Yeah, if you're an arachnophobe, I don't suggest that one. So yeah. All right, so next up, the category is going to be zombies. And I do believe the books that I chose for this one I believe they are both young adult, but they both sounded really good. So that being said, the first one up is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. It's the end of the world. 6 students have taken cover in Cortege High, but shelter is little comfort when the dead outside won't stop pounding on the doors. One bite is all it takes to kill a person and bring them back as a monstrous version of their former self. To Sloane Price, that doesn't sound so bad. 6 months ago, her world collapsed, and since then, she's failed to find a reason to keep going. Now seems like the perfect time to give up. As Sloane eagerly awaits for the barricades to fall, she's forced to witness the apocalypse through the eyes of 5 people who actually want to live. But as the days crawl by, the motivations for survival change in startling ways, and soon the group's fate is determined less and less by what's happening outside and more by the unpredictable and violent bids for life and death inside. When everything is gone, what do you hold on to? And that is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. All right, next up in the zombie category, I've got The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. Just the title alone for that one sounds awesome. You know, that is one of those that I definitely cannot wait to get a hold of and read, so hopefully soon. In Mary's world, there are simple truths. The sisterhood always knows best. The guardians will protect and serve. The unconsecrated will never relent. You must always mind the fence that surrounds the village, the fence that protects the village from the forest of hands and teeth. But slowly, Mary's truths are failing her. She's learning things she never wanted to know about the sisterhood and its secrets, and the guardians and their power. And when the fence is breached and her world is thrown into chaos, about the unconsecrated and the relentlessness. Now she must choose between her village and her future, between the one she loves and the one who loves her. And she must face the truth about the forest of hands and teeth. Could there be life outside a world surrounded in so much death? And that is The Forest of Hands and Teeth. And that is that, and This Is Not a Test are the two for the zombie subgenre. All right. Next up, we have got Witches. And the first one I've got, now some of these I said that I want to buy them. Some of them I actually do already own. The main reason is because I couldn't find images large enough for the video, and I don't like blowing something up to where it just becomes a blur and unpixelated and stuff. So I literally had to buy these on my Kindle, screenshot the Kindle cover, or the cover, and then be able to use it. So this one is one that I own. I've actually had it a long time, and I do want to read it though. And this is The Hangman's Daughter by Oliver Polch, or Potsch. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Potzsch. It is Polish, I believe. Germany, 1660. When a dying boy is pulled from the river with a mark crudely tattooed on his shoulder, hangman Jacob Quiesel is called upon to investigate whether witchcraft is at play in a small Bavarian town. Whispers and dark memories of witch trials and the women burned at the stake just 70 years earlier still haunt the streets of Schongau. When more children disappear and an orphan boy is found dead, marked by the same tattoo, the mounting hysteria threatens to erupt into chaos. Before the unrest forces him to torture and execute the very woman who aided in the birth of his children, Jacob must unravel the truth. With the help of his clever daughter, Magdalena, and Simon, the university-educated son of the town's physician, Jacob discovers that a devil is indeed loose in Schongau, but it may be too late to prevent bloodshed. A brilliantly detailed, fast-paced historical thriller, The Hangman's Daughter is the first novel from German television screenwriter Oliver Polch, a descendant of the Quiesels, a famous Bavarian executioner clan. That sounds really interesting, I mean, because just the whole thing of this guy being related, being a descendant of these executioners, so he's kind of got an inside track on this whole thing, and also it being about witches also is just super cool, all right? Also, if you do get the Kindle copy of this, you can turn on the media in your Kindle, and a lot of the pages are animated, which is really awesome, all right? So if you've never tried that, try it with this one, because it's really cool. Even the cover is animated. Does all kinds of spinning and stuff. Excellent. Awesome. Really cool. All right, next up is a graphic novel, and this is Witches, and that is with an Y, W-Y-T-C-H-E-S, by Scott Snyder. When the Rooks family moves to the remote town of Litchfield, New Hampshire, to escape a haunting trauma, they're hopeful about starting over. But something evil is waiting for them in the woods just beyond town, watching from the trees, ancient and hungry. And that is Witches by Scott Snyder, graphic novel. All right, moving on, we've got cosmic horror. First one for that one, we got The Croning, and this is by Laird Barron. Strange things exist on the periphery of our existence, haunting us from the darkness looming beyond our firelight. Black magic, weird cults, and worse things loom in the shadows. The children of Old Leech have been with us from time immemorial, and they love us. Donald Miller, geologist and academic, has walked along the edge of a chasm for most of his nearly 80 years, leading a charmed life between endearing absent-mindedness and sanity-shattering realization. Now all things must converge. Donald will discover the dark secrets along the edges, unearthing savage truths about his wife Michelle, their adult twins, and all he knows and trusts. For Donald is about to stumble on the secret of the Croning. That sounds awesome, doesn't it, guys? Come on, tell me it doesn't sound so cool. That is The Croning by Laird Barron, man. All right, next up, the next one I've got is a story collection, and this is Everything That's let me repeat that. Everything That's Underneath by Christy DeMeester. Crawl across the earth and dig in the dirt. Feel it, tearing at your nails, gritty between your teeth, filling your nostrils. Consume it until it has consumed you. For there you will find the voices that will call from the shadows, the ones that promise to cherish you only to rip your body to shreds. In Everything That's Underneath, Christy DeMeester explores the dark places most people avoid. A hole in an abandoned lot, an illness twisting your loved one into someone you don't recognize, lust that pushes you further and further until no one can hear you cry for help. In these 18 stories, the characters cannot escape the evil that is haunting them. They must make a choice, accept it, and become part of what terrifies them the most, or allow it to consume them and live in fear forever. And that is Everything That's Underneath by Christy DeMeester. All right, last but not least, we have got Slasher, or as Rachel over the Shades of Orange likes to call it, stabby books. Pretty cool, huh? All right, first up, we got from Wrath James White, we've got Succulent Prey. What a name there. 15 years ago, Joseph Miles was abducted, tortured, and almost killed by a serial killer with a taste for blood. But Joseph got away. He is the only survivor. Now Jason has a problem. He is convinced that his torturer passed a virus on to him, a sickness that will turn him into a serial killer. Joseph must find a cure before the woman he loves, the woman who is currently chained to his bed, becomes his next victim. That sounds so cool. Yes, it does. All right, last but not least, we have got Bonesaw by Patrick Lacey. Liam Carpenter spends most of his time above his aunt's garage watching obscure horror movies and drinking cheap beer. But this week's different. This week, things are getting weird. First, there's his favorite director, Clive Sherman, showing up in town unannounced. Then there's the string of murders that all seem like something out of Clive's popular Pigfoot movie monster franchise. Yes, I said Pigfoot, not Bigfoot. Throw in Liam's mysterious new crush and the cough syrup addicted private investigator chasing her down, you might gain somewhat of a clue of what's going on in Bass Falls lately. And don't even get him started on she-demons and blood sacrifices. Bonesaw Studios is in town and they're bringing you the bloodiest sequel featuring a pig-human hybrid killing machine you've ever seen. All right, and that is Bonesaw by Patrick Lacey, and that is going to do it. That is 10 more horror books in 5 more horror subgenres that I'd like to buy and I want to read. So, that being said, hopefully you found something in this one here that you might like to read also. Let me know in the comments because I really love to hear from you. All right, like I said, it is actually Friday. This is going to post on Wednesday. That's why I said it was a week ago when I posted my first one. Anyway, the weekend is coming up. You guys have a great weekend. Please be safe out there. Thank you and bye-bye.